This should be pretty obvious by the title and theme of this video, but trigger warning for gore. I'm sure I don't have to say that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Hi, before we get on to this video, I would like to let you guys know that the prompt list I used was made by somebody named Ongoing Crisis. I did not mention this when making this video, and I should have, because I love this prompt list. It's great. So, I have no idea who this person is, but give them some love, because they made a cool prompt list. Hello, 'tis I. So, today is the long-awaited GORETOBER video. If you don't know what GORETOBER is, it's pretty simple. Basically, you draw a gore-themed drawing every day for a month, for the entire month of October. So, yeah, it's pretty simple. So, basically, I'm gonna be showing and talking about all the speed paints. So, yeah, let's get on to it. Day 1 was dissection. It took 1 hour and 42 minutes, and I started drawing it at around 8:30 a.m. I was pretty excited about doing GORETOBER, so I, did it very early, and it happened to, the first day of October fell on a weekend, so I was able to get up and just draw instead of having to go to school. I struggled on basically everything with this drawing. I wanted to do something pretty, I wanted to do something that looked like, I wanted to add a lot of detail to it, so it took me a long time, especially with the fact that anatomy is not my forte, so having to draw the innards of this alien man was very hard, and you can see I struggled on the ribs, I struggled on the arms, because I was trying to give him a bit of muscle. I struggled on basically every part of this drawing. Coloring it was absolute hell. I did not enjoy coloring it at all, especially the bones, though I did like how the bones ended up turning out. I added some different yellowy browny colors to it, so, and blended it so it looked like real bones, and it definitely added to the drawing. I think that it worked really well. I was eating waffles while I was coloring it. That's just something you should know. I was eating waffles. I didn't give the drawing any lungs because he's an alien. He doesn't really need to breathe. So, that's day 1. Day 2 was burning, and I had a bit of trouble with this one. And the reason why I had trouble with this one is because I was trying to make it more gory and as gross as possible, but it's kind of hard to do that. And I kind of realized that I needed to add grossness to it, halfway through the drawing, and I couldn't just change my concept, so I, at the very end, added a blister on his arm, as if he was, committing arson and he accidentally got burnt himself. I wasn't really motivated when drawing this. I was tired and I was like, I do not want to draw today, but I'm gonna push through it, and I did, and I'm pretty proud of the drawing. I think it turned out well. It is definitely not, super gory like I'd like it to be, I was actually watching Invader Zim while I was drawing this. For context, I have a little diary in my notes app, which is basically me talking about I just typed out some notes of stuff I was thinking about and doing, and stuff I struggled on with each drawing, and that's what I'm going off of for this voiceover. And so I basically was just watching Invader Zim with my brother. I think it was my first time watching Invader Zim. 10 out of 10, very good show. Oh yeah, and it took 3 hours and 40 minutes, mostly because I took a lot of time to pause to pay attention to the show I was watching. And I started drawing this at around 11:40 a.m. Day 3 was Decapitation. It took 33 minutes, and I started drawing it at around 3 p.m. And I was, again, watching more Invader Zim while drawing this. I don't have too much to say about this one. There's not many notes in my little diary about it. It's, it's what the prompt is. It's Decapitation. So I'm just gonna let the music play for this one. So this drawing, day 4, is the prompt is candy gore, and I just decided to do a Happy Tree Friends drawing of the character Nutty. I'm pretty sure this is the only fan art in the drawings. I'm pretty sure this is the only fan art. The rest of it is my own OCs, I think, from what I can remember. It took 30 minutes. I started it at around 7 p.m. There's not much to say about this one either. It's just, it's pretty self-explanatory. Day 5 was Stabbed. It took 41 minutes and I started it at 3:30 p.m. This one I had a concept for that you can see me drawing right now, but I ended up scrapping that and going with something else because I didn't really know how I was supposed to pull it off because of my limited understanding of anatomy. So though I did challenge myself with this one, I am not good at drawing poses like this, so I definitely challenged myself with this one, and not to brag, but I'd say it turned out pretty okay. This one has a fun little story to it, because not only is it lore, like actual OC lore, if you have seen my videos where I make fun of my old gacha videos, you may notice that this outfit is heavily based on Logan's gacha outfit when he murdered his mom. And I decided to put him in this outfit as a little nod to that. Well, it's not the exact outfit. He was wearing a hoodie in the Gacha Life movie, and in this one he's wearing a sweater. But it was heavily inspired, and you can even see early in the speed paint me taking a screenshot of what he looked like and basing it off of that. I struggled a lot on making the blood look decent, because the thing is, when you put red or like reddish colored blood on dark red clothing, it's not gonna show up that well, and that compared to the blue pants just makes it really fucking annoying to really make it work. Day 6 was Nosebleed. It took 37 minutes and I started drawing it at around 3:30 p.m. This one is extremely sad. It is extremely sad because this was the first day that I missed a day. Yep, I missed day 6, but I did it the next day, so it's fine. So I technically did this on the 7th, not the 6th, but it's still the day 6 prompt. I also did day 7 that day, so I just did 2 drawings the day after. So it's all good, I caught up. But, I'm not very proud of this one. I will admit it was extremely rushed, because I wanted to get it out as soon as possible, especially for the people following my GORETOBER drawings on my Gore Twitter account, which is where I posted all of these drawings. I'm not very proud of it. I don't have much to say about it other than the fact that I was a day late, and that is very sad. There was another day that I was technically a day late because I finished it, or I didn't finish it, I started it at like 1 a.m. So technically there was a second day that I didn't, finish it that day, but I'd consider it finishing it that day because why not, So, this drawing I struggled a lot with. This is day 7, Poison. I did this on the same day as day 6. I think I did it, like, right after, too. It took 34 minutes, and I started it at around 5:40 p.m. So I did this on the same day as day 6, as I said, and I do not like how one of the hands is more realistic than the other. I used a reference, but I didn't use a reference on the other one, so it doesn't work. It looks weird. Like, the hand looks fine on its own, but, like, with the other hand, it just doesn't work. I also was struggling with, like, thinking about what to do for this prompt, because, like, I didn't know what to do for the prompt, right? So I just did my character Oscar holding, like, pills that have, like, some kind of toxic fume coming from them. Day 8's prompt was teeth, and it took me 1 hour to draw, and I started drawing it at around 9 a.m. I have an issue with this, and that is the fact that I made the tooth too small. If you, like, take the tooth, if you, like, select it and try and, like, put it into the mouth, it'd be too small. But other than that, I don't really have many issues with this drawing. This is my 3rd Logan drawing I've done, so, that's fun. Day 9's prompt was pins. It took me 42 minutes, and I started drawing it at around 10 a.m. I was watching the Invader Zim movie while drawing this. That's all I really have to say about it, other than the fact that I'm not quite sure if this is considered gore because it's stuffing, but that is, like, that is what's inside him, and he is alive, so, like, I guess. I don't know. This is really the only thing I could think of for this prompt, because you know, he's the only character that would use pins, so, you know. Yeah, I think that this drawing turned out pretty good. I like it. Day 10's prompt was Fungi. It took me 25 minutes and I started drawing it at 12 p.m. This drawing was very short because I was rushing it a lot, because I did not want to be drawing, at least I didn't want to be drawing that. I was just not feeling it that day, you know? I think I was actually sick too, so I was not feeling it, but I got it done, so that's good. Day 11 was Neon Gore. It took me 18 minutes to draw, and I started drawing it at around 6 p.m. I was super lazy with this one, and you can probably tell with the quality of the drawing. I basically just drew, like, the drawing normally, and then I put, like, a filter over it to make it neon. So, yeah. This drawing, I remember being very tired when drawing this, so, you know, don't mind the low quality of the drawing. It turned out okay, I guess, like, so it's nothing like, it's not like a terrible drawing or anything, it's just, you know, it's just not my favorite out of all the drawings. Day 12 was Bandages. It took me 40 minutes and I started it at around 1 p.m. I'm pretty proud of this one. You can see that I got like a bunch of different, you know, I got like one reference for a box cutter and a Hello Kitty pattern to put on it, because basically everything this man owns is Hello Kitty themed. I do think it's kind of funny that if you just take a glance at the drawing and like you're not like really looking at it, it kind of looks like he has a beard, and I think that's very funny. Day 13 was melting. It took 14 minutes, and I started it at around 10:30 a.m. This drawing is actually technically a lower drawing because when Wendy was younger, she got like cleaner and stuff poured into her eyes, and while I don't think that if you got cleaner, like a bunch of cleaner into your eyes, even if it's to the point where you went blind, I don't think that it would be like bloody. I just added blood for, you know, the spirit of GORETOBER. Day 14 was Impaled. It took me 43 minutes and I started it at about 6 p.m. So this drawing is referencing, and you've probably noticed by the abundance, the abundance of drawings I've done of the Mars leader being stabbed in the chest from behind, and also the choke animation. You can probably tell that he got stabbed. That's like a part of his lore. Yeah, he got stabbed by EXE, and you'd probably know that if you watched, the choke animation, which, you know, go check it out or something. Oh yeah, and I, like, spent a lot of time on the blood, specifically the blood dripping from the spear, because I learned, how to kind of properly draw blood, so I was, like, really trying to make it look good, but it kept, like, I kept accidentally drawing it at, like, an angle, so it, like, wasn't working with gravity, and I was like, oh my fucking god, this is so annoying. So I just decided, as you can see, to draw some, like, straight lines with a ruler, and then make the blood based on that so I could get it straight, and it worked, so that's good. But yeah, I was really trying to make the blood look good, even though I was so tired when drawing this. Oh my god, I was literally on the verge of just passing out. Like, dude, I was so tired. I think I, like, fell asleep, like, right after I was done with this drawing. Day 15 was Possession. It took 37 minutes, and I started it at 6 p.m. This is another drawing that's technically lore. I just did a bunch of lore drawings. I already knew, like, the second I saw the prompt list, even before I started GORETOBER, I knew that I was gonna draw William for this one. Like, I don't know what else I would have drawn for it, honestly. William didn't exist, I do not know what I would have drawn for it. Yeah, so I don't have too much to say about this other than the fact that it's William being possessed by Red. There's not really much to say about that. He's being possessed. Like, yeah. Day 16 was hanihaki disease. It took me 33 minutes to draw, and I started it at 1 p.m. There's nothing to say about this other than, like, why the fuck wouldn't I use Tucker for this? Like, who else would I draw for this, honestly? Maybe Simon, but, like, seriously, like, there's not much to say about this, It's hanihaki disease. I drew my OC that canonically has hanihaki disease. I try and make certain things very clear in, like, certain animations, or just, like, in my art, and I hope I made it clear enough from, like, the bajillion animation memes I made about Tucker that he has hanihaki disease. I hope I got that across. If not, then I'm just a bad fucking storyteller. Please cancel me. Day 17's prompt was eyes. Took me 27 minutes to draw. I started drawing it at around 10:30 p.m. So a lot of people don't know anything about this character, and that's understandable because I've done a grand total of 1 animation meme with this character, and it was not even lore-based or anything, so, there's not really much that, about this character that's, like, known other than the people who I've talked to about it. So, basically, their name is Ace, and they created the universe, but they have what's basically just dementia, so they can't remember shit. So, they're basically just a god with dementia. They also, have body dysmorphia about their, amount of eyes. So, they want 2 eyes, so they rip their eyes out sometimes. That's why they wear a mask. Day 18 is insect. It took me 48 minutes to draw. Started around 3 p.m. So, this character is a character named Chime. I don't draw him often, but he's like a little kid. He's just a guy. He's just a little guy. And, he's my only character that's an insect, and you might be able to argue Willow is, but spiders aren't insects, they're arachnids, so shut up. But moths are insects, so, he's part moth. But I didn't have the heart to make gore with him because, like, bro's been through way too fucking much. I'm sorry. But I gave him a little, like, scrape on his knee. He probably fell down while, like, I don't know, kicking around a ball or something, I don't know. So yeah, this is probably, like, the least, like, disturbing of them all because it's literally just a kid that fell while, like, playing outside. I'm sorry. this isn't really in the spirit of GORETOBER. I apologize. Please don't cancel me. Day 19's prompt was Glitch. It took me 15 minutes, and I started it at around 10:30 p.m. Now, this drawing is relatively weirdcore themed, but not like really weirdcore themed, because, it's, I was pretty tired, so it's not like I wanted to do anything super spectacular, but this character is just weirdcore themed in general, so, really anything I make with them is relatively weirdcore themed. I changed Tadpole's blood color. It used to be white, but people kept making cum jokes, so I decided to change it. Day 20's prompt was Stitches. Took me 14 minutes, and I started it at like 10:20 p.m. I had a massive headache while drawing this. It wasn't because of the drawing, I just had a really big headache. So I didn't really want to stare at my screen for a long time, so I tried to hurry it up, and, seeing as it took 14 minutes, I succeeded in that. Yeah, so basically, it's just, they've got some stitches that opened up, which, they're, like, supposed to be kind of, like, zombie Frankenstein based, so they've got a lot of stitches on their body. Day 21 is Sliced. It took me 33 minutes, and I started it at around 2 p.m. Now, this one is one that I remember I saw something like this. It was like a mermaid cut up, and when, the cut up parts were sushi, and I thought that was clever, and I don't remember where I saw it. I just saw it somewhere a long time ago. So that just popped in my head, and I decided to draw something similar. Yeah, so basically, he's a merman, and he's being cut up into sushi. So yeah, there's not much else to say about that. I think this drawing is very silly because he's being turned into sushi. Poor guy's being turned into seafood. One thing I struggled on in this drawing was the tail. Specifically the tip of the tail, not even, the sushi part of the tail, the very tip of it. Oh my god, you could tell at the beginning I struggled so much trying to make it look like his tail wasn't, snapped in half and broken, it looked like the bone was, broken. Day 22's prompt is Parasite. Took me 37 minutes, and I started drawing it at around 1 a.m. And by 1 a.m., I mean 1 a.m. on the 23rd, because I completely forgot about that day's prompt, and I was up at 1 a.m. doing 1 a.m. shit, and I realized, I was like, oh shit, let me quickly grab my tablet and start drawing. So, yeah, this prompt came from 1 a.m. Tiredness. Technically, I didn't get this drawing done on time, but shh, we don't need to talk about that. It got done anyway. Day 23's prompt was Bruises, and took me 18 minutes, started drawing it at around 4 p.m. It took a lot quicker than I thought, as in, the time felt like it was going by extremely slowly, but, it actually took literally 18 minutes when I thought it took 30. But that's nice and all because, the quicker it is, the quicker I can get done with my prompt and not have to worry about it anymore. Day 24 was Crystals, took 24 minutes, started at 8:45 p.m. I actually looked up some tutorials for how to draw a crystal, and I didn't really follow them exactly. I just kind of, took a look at them, just kind of saw, what I can use to kind of know how I can draw this. And I ended up really liking how it turned out. If you want, you can slow down the video and see the process of how I did the crystal, because I actually really like how it turned out, and I will be drawing crystals like that in the future. The kind of backstory to this is that Phaon, the character, has a rock hyperfixation, so I thought it'd be funny if he had a crystal lodged in his eye. Day 25's prompt was plants, took me 52 minutes, and I started it at around 10 p.m. So with this drawing, I decided to make the character nude, and the reason why is because, first of all, I just wanted to draw a character nude because L+ ratio, clothes are overrated. Second of all, it's easier to draw gore when the character isn't wearing any clothes. It's just easier. So I kind of had an idea where, the plants would be kind of censoring her and, kind of covering up the NSFW parts. So, yeah, she is nude, she has no clothing, which is very worrisome because, as you can see in the back, not now, but later in the speed paint, there's some poison ivy behind her. And a cactus. And I decided to put some poison ivy there because Ivy is her girlfriend's name, so I just thought it'd be funny. These vines, I wanted to give them sharp spikes and stuff. They were really annoying to draw. You could see how tedious the process was. I hated it. But the drawing turned out fine. I'm proud of it. I think it turned out fine. Day 26 was Cannibalism, and took 45 minutes, and I started it at 3 p.m. Now, you may have expected me to draw EXE and Phaon, or just EXE, but the issue with that is that EXE technically hasn't cannibalized anyone in the drawings I show. You could argue that EXE and Phaon, or that EXE is cannibalizing Phaon, but technically they are different species of aliens from different planets, which means that I don't think it would be considered cannibalism. I think it's the equivalent of a wolf eating a house dog, like a house pet. They're similar, but they're not the same species. Even if they are, similar to each other, I don't think it would technically be considered cannibalism. So I wanted to do something that would technically be considered cannibalism, which is Mrs. Wade cooking up a person. So I drew Mrs. Wade cooking up a person. Speaking of EXE cannibalizing Phaon, Day 27's prompt was bites. Took 28 minutes, started it at 5 p.m. Yeah. I'm just gonna let the music play. I don't really have anything to say about this drawing. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was kind of semi redraw / re-concept of a different drawing I did, which I'll put on the screen. I was definitely inspired by that drawing, though I wasn't trying to like recreate it. It definitely, was inspiration though. Day 28's prompt was knives. Took me an hour and 27 minutes. Started it at 5 p.m. I wanted to draw a bunch of different kinds of knives, so as you can see, I have like a, little like reference of a bunch of different kinds of knives and tried to recreate them. I only did some of them. I also added a chainsaw because I didn't want to draw any more like tedious knives. So I was like, what can I put there that would, just be something to add to the drawing? And I was like, what about a chainsaw? So I put a chainsaw there. Yeah, not much to say about this one other than that drawing the knives was very annoying. It was very tedious. Though it wasn't that big of a deal. Don't have much else to really say about that. Day 29's prompt was slit throat. Took me an hour and 23 minutes for some reason, and started it at 8:30 p.m. I think the reason why it took so long was because of the chest wound, which I've drawn her chest wound like a bajillion times, so it's not like I have an issue with drawing it. I just couldn't get it to look right for some reason. Like I was struggling, man. So yeah, just Jennifer there and just Logan being a shadow in the background. Not much to say about this. She got her throat slit. Yeah, that's a thing. Like don't have much to say about this one other than what you can visually see in the drawing. Day 30 was headache, took me 34 minutes. and started it at 11:30 a.m. I didn't really know what to do for this prompt because I don't know how I'm supposed to turn a headache into a gore drawing until I was like, you know, it would be very funny if he got like stabbed in the forehead and he was like, oh, I have a headache. That would be so funny. So I drew that because what else would I draw? Honestly, I don't know what else I'd draw for this prompt. One thing I did not like about this drawing was the noose. I drew it wrong without realizing I drew it wrong. That's not how nooses work, MG. What are you doing? Yeah. But, also I think it's really funny how, the noose would not fit over his head. That's just not even a thing with this drawing. That's just a thing with the way I draw heads. I draw the head super big and I draw the neck super small, so the noose is super small to go with the neck. But, like, you would not be able to fit that over your head. I just think that's so funny. Like, honestly, it's great. It's really funny. And finally, day 31. The prompt was Bloodbath. Took me an hour and 28 minutes to draw. Started drawing it at 3 p.m. So, what's funny about this one is that when you hear the word bloodbath, sorry, I cannot speak, bloodbath, the first thing you think of is, like, you know, murder, like, you know, somebody murdering a bunch of people, you know, blood everywhere, somebody stabbing a bunch of people, because that's what bloodbath means. But I wanted to take the prompt literally and make EXE swimming, not swimming, but bathing in blood. So, you got this. So I just thought I'd do a little, like, literal spin on this. And, I put Happy Halloween 2022 because, you know, it was the 31st when I drew this. Yeah. Thank you for watching. This video took quite literally technically a month to make because I had to get a month's worth of speed paints for this until I could even start like thinking about doing things like voiceover and shit. So enjoy this.